Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Today we're going to talk about the ridiculously high prices of ordering out food. We're going to do an example of Szechuan beef. Okay, everybody loves Szechuan beef. If you were to order that from your local Chinese restaurant, you're looking at $15.95 per order. Now, on top of that, you're going to get a delivery fee of $5. This one always blows my mind. A restaurant handling fee of $4. Tip, can't be cheap. You got to tip the driver, so $6. Uncle Sam's getting his piece. Tax $2.63. If you add all that up, you got $15.95 for the beef, delivery fee of $5, handling fee of $4, tip $6, tax $2.63 for a grand total of $33.58 for that Szechuan beef meal that started out at $15.95. Well, I got some good news for you. We're going to make it at home for about $6 per person and way better than the local Chinese restaurant. Stick around, we're doing it next. All right, let's get started on this Szechuan beef with broccoli. We're gonna make the sauce first. What you're gonna need is 5 tablespoons of soy sauce. Then you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. You can find that where you find your soy sauce in your local grocery store. Next, it calls for 1 tablespoon sesame oil. And then 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. One tablespoon cornstarch. And then lastly, a 1/4 cup of beef or chicken broth, whatever you have. Then we're going to give this a real good mix. And we're going to put it in the refrigerator until we need it later. Now I've got out of my freezer, I had a prime tri-tip for the meat. I cut it in half, and now I'm going to cut it nice and thin against the grain. That's the key, to cut it against the grain. If you don't have tri-tip, you can use flank steak, you can use ribeye, you can use New York. Just cut it nice and thin against the grain. Now, we're going to put all the meat into a bowl, and we're going to put a couple tablespoons of cornstarch on top of the meat, and about 3 or 4 tablespoons of soy sauce on the meat as well. And then we're going to get in there with our hands, and we're going to mix it up real good. Make sure everybody's coated in the soy sauce and cornstarch. And what this is going to do is help tenderize the meat. So once we get this all coated, we'll cover it with saran wrap, pop it in the refrigerator at least an hour, 3 or 4 hours, even better. Next, we got to work on our broccoli. I've got a nice head of broccoli, and we're just going to use our small knife here and just take each little, what do they call those, brochettes? Brochettes pieces off the broccoli. And you don't want them too big, so if they're too big, just cut them in half or quarters. You want them about bite-sized pieces. And we'll put those on a bowl and put those on the side until we need those. Now it's time to start cooking. Got a large non-stick with some avocado oil. I got the heat on medium-high. And I'm going to take each piece of meat that we had in the refrigerator out and set into the pan and start to brown that meat on one side. And while I'm doing this, if I could remind you to please like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends and family all about us. Hit that bell to stay up to date on newest recipes. And if you can at all, please leave a comment. It really helps a lot. And I appreciate you all watching. It makes me happy to make these videos for you. And I'm hoping that you're learning a little bit and having fun too. And saving money cooking the way these prices are these days. Alright, we just about got all the meat into the frying pan. And after about 4 or 5 minutes, it'll be time to flip them on the other side. There we go. Now we'll start to turn these over. And that's what you're looking for right there. Because the meat's so thin, it does cook thoroughly pretty fast, but you want to get a little bit of color on there for sure. And you can also do this in batches if you have a lot of meat. I just wanted to get it all done in one shot, so I just got a large frying pan and probably overloaded it a little bit, but it is what it is. Now once all our meat is turned, we're going to put it on a plate and set it to the side until we need it. Just like that. Okay, now our pan is still hot. We're going to add 1/4 of a white onion that we have diced up. And we'll cook those onions until they're translucent. And then we're going to add 2 garlic cloves that I've diced. And I've got 1 small package of white button mushrooms that I've washed. And as soon as the garlic becomes fragrant, we're going to throw the mushroom in there. And we'll cook those mushrooms for a little bit. We're going to hit them with a little bit of salt to get some of the moisture out, and some pepper. There we go. Now we're going to add our broccoli. Quick note, I did nuke the broccoli for 3 minutes in the microwave before I put it into the pan. Kind of pre-cooked it. And our meat. Give it a good mix. It's too bad you guys can't smell this. It smells delicious. Now we're going to add our sauce that we made earlier. And because of the cornstarch in the sauce and the cornstarch in the meat, it's going to start to thicken up real nice. Top it with some red pepper flakes for a little heat. That's optional. And we'll give this a mix. And you'll keep an eye on your sauce. Once it starts to get to the thickness that you desire, you'll be done. I'm going to serve this over some white rice. And you have yourself a delicious Szechuan beef with broccoli at a very reasonable price for the whole family. A lot better than takeout. A lot cheaper than takeout, and it's delicious. Try this one. You're going to love it. The kids are going to love it. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.